Good morning, all of you. In the last lecture, I discussed the features offered by the Embed SDK and Embed SDK. So, in Embed platform, how the software development kits are available and how the hardware development kits are available. If you want to design any IoT systems, then you can use this SDK and SDK for a faster developing of your systems or of your design. Now, in this lecture, I am going to discuss the outline the Cortex microcontroller software interface standard tools and its benefit. That is called CMSIS and its benefit. So first you have to understand what is the CMSIS tools. So the name suggests it is a software interface standard. It means that if you are design any programs, if you develop any software for Cortex M family, okay, Cortex M family. So in Cortex M family, there are various types of processor will be available, like M0, M0 plus. So if you are going to use these CMCs, it means that if you have written the program for Cortex M0, then it also valid for M0 plus. So this is the benefit of CMCs. Just you have to change the pin configurations, whatever pins are there, and what to put. But the logics are same and it will work very fine. So that is the advantage of CMC tools. So now first I will see what is CMSIS. So CMSIS full form is Cortex Microcontroller Software Interface Standard. So it is a software interface standard which is applicable for Cortex microcontrollers. So Cortex microcontroller, it means that Cortex M family. If I am taking that Cortex M controller, it means the Cortex microcontroller, it means Cortex M family. So in the Cortex M family, there are various processors will be available. M0, M0 plus, M3, M2, M1, like that. Okay. So you have to select, you have to choose any Cortex M family processor, and then you can develop the programs. You can able to write the programs with the help of this CMSIS. So now it is a vendor independent hardware abstraction layer for the Cortex M processor series. Now, all of you heard about that if you are going to buy any microcontrollers or any microprocessor, for that the desired some software will be required. So that software will be applicable from that manufacturer only. जैसे मान लो कि तुम एप्पल का कोई खरीदते हो कुछ भी चीजें, ठीक है, then you have to use the Apple stores only. If you want any softwares to download it, then you have to in whatever available in the Apple store, you can use it. Otherwise, you can't able to use it. Okay, so in this CMCs, this is a vendor independent. Like you are buying any types of laptop, you can put Windows 7. It will work fine, no problem. But if you are going to buy Apple and you want to install the operating system Windows 7 or Windows 10, it's not work. It will not work fine. Okay, so that's the thing. So that's the if it is vendor independent, it means that you are covering variety of market. You can cover the full markets. Okay, like Intel is designing is processor, and he is going to provide all companies who is electronics are there. So it helps the producer. Any vendors will develop any systems, any designs. Let us consider there are various in the laptop. There are various manufacturers are there, correct? Asus, Lenovo, Dell, Acer. Okay? But you have to think about that all vendors are buying the processor from the Intel itself. If the processor belongs to Intel. Okay, so that's the thing. So it's a vendor independent hardware. It's very good. So now it also provides a standardized software interface, such as library functions, which help you to control the processor more easily, configuring the nested vector interrupt controller NVIC. So this is a standardized software interface. So it means that there are various types of libraries that are available. With the help of that library, you can able to develop the systems. You can develop that any type of IoT systems, like configuring the nested vector interrupt controllers. So NVIC is a unit. It is used to handle all the interrupts and exceptions that Cortex-M supports. So there are various types of interrupts are available in Cortex-M series family. If you want to control the particulars interrupt, then you can use the nested vector interrupt controllers. This is the responsibility of NVICs to handle all type of interrupts and exceptions. The main reason is to improve software probability across different Cortex-M processors and Cortex-M based microcontrollers. Now, in Cortex-M families, there are various types of processor will be there. Like if you have written the program for Cortex-M0, same program is valid for the Cortex-M0 Plus. If you designed any software for Cortex-M, then you can easily use that software into 0 Plus. That's why we call software portability. So now you can see with the help of this diagram, you can see that this is the ARM Cortex-M0 processors. In place of M0 Plus, you can choose any processors like M0, M3, M4, okay, whatever it is. So you are going to configure this processor, configure Cortex-M0 Plus by directly accessing registers in this internal memory space. And also unsigned integer NVIC interrupt enable 0+01. It means that with the help of various registers and also internal memory space, you can able to write a programs, and with the help of NVIC int enable, you can able to control the various types of interrupts. So now you can see when we are doing with this with the CMCs. So this is the ARM CMC core. Whatever you are going to write a programs for this configuring Cortex-M processor by using CMCs libraries. So NVIC enable interrupt request timer interrupt request. And so in this, what will happen? Whatever library you are going to use, whatever you are developing, you are going to develop the libraries for the ARM Cortex family, M family, then this is valid for all Cortex-M0, Cortex-M3, Cortex-M4, like that. The same library can be utilized for a different Cortex-M series processors. So this is the benefit of CMCs. So what is standardized in CMCs? So if you are going to use the CMCs tools, then you are going to standardize some functions so that these functions will work throughout the Cortex-M series processors. So a standardized function to access NVIC. So I will tell you. So whenever you want to access the NVIC, means you are going to handle the interrupts, then you can use NVIC interrupt enable 0+01. With the help of these things, you are going to enabling the NVIC controllers. So NVIC controllers is responsible for handling the different types of interrupts. So this is a general, either you can use in Cortex-M0, Cortex-M1, Cortex-M3, Cortex-M4, like that. And also system control block, SCB. You can use system control block and system tick timers, system tick, for example. So now these blocks are common in all the processors. You can use these things and you could develop the programs. Now, like examples, enables an interrupt or exceptions. If you want to enable the interrupts or you want to enable the exceptions, then you can use NVIC underscore enable IRQ. So NVIC underscore enable, it means that the nested vector interrupt controller is going to enable the interrupt request. So IRQ indicates interrupt request. So whenever you are going to interrupt request, it means that this system, this controller will able to handle the different types of interrupts like IRQN, type IRQN, set pending a status of interrupt, void NVIC underscore set pending IRQ. This is the function. With the help of these functions, you are going to pending the interrupts. Whatever interrupts you are going to pending, you can write these instructions. It will, whatever interrupts will occur, that interrupts will be in pending status. So this will valid for all Cortex M3 processors. That's why we are going to using a standardized CMC stores. ऐसा नहीं है 8051 के लिए मैं लिख रहा हूं तो कुछ लिख रहा हूं और MSP 430 के लिए कुछ दूसरा लिखना पड़ रहा है, ठीक है? But in this series it will not happen. So you have to take care of these things. And also when you are going to use the standardized access of special registers. Okay. So now if you want to use the special registers like read pre-mask registers, UNT32 underscore T underscore get underscore prime mask void. So with the help of these instructions, you are going to use 32-bit general purpose, 32-bit prime mask registers. So in all the processor, you can do this. And also set control registers, void underscore set underscore control, U integer 32 underscore T underscore value. What is the meaning? You are going to control the registers. You are going to set the registers value. The registers is of 32-bit registers. So this is the standard things. If you will understand once, then you can apply in any types of families like Cortex M families, either M0, M3, M4 like that. So when we are talking about the standardized functions to access special instructions, you are going to standardize the functions, different types of functions to access special instructions like REV. So REV indicates reverse byte order. Okay. So if you want to reverse the byte, reverse the data, then you can use these instructions. REV U integer 32 underscore T underscore REV unit U int 32 underscore T int value. So with the help of these instructions, you are going to reverse the byte order. Reverse of byte order means, let us consider 1 byte data. In 1 byte data, how many bits are there? In 1 byte data, that is 8 bit will be there. So in 1 byte data, if you want to reverse, it means that the order will be changed. Okay, reversing means this data will go there and this data will go there. This data will be go there and this data will be go there. Like that, these things will happen. So you have to use this instruction if you want to reverse the data. Now the next instruction is NOP. That is called no operation. Void underscore NOP void. It means that at this point of time, the processor will not do any types of operations. Remember that. Okay, so when you are going to use the standardized names for the systems initialization functions, if you want to initialize any systems, then you can use for the system initializations, you can use void system init void. Okay, so with the help of this, you are going to initialize any systems, or you can initialize any things which is used in your applications for the particular systems. Now we can see with the help of CMCs, if you have any problem, if you have any complaint, then you can write for that CMC's complaint that is made of the ARM Cortex microcontroller software interface standard So with the help of these sections, you are going to complain that if you are facing any problems, you can able to write the problems. These things will be there. So when you are going to work on these CMC tools, you will face so many problems. So in the help sections, you can go and you can try to resolve the problems. Now, when we are talking about the CMC's components, so it consists of the following components like CMC's core, CMC's DSP, CMC's RTOS API, CMC's SVD. We will see that we are categorizing the three parts. One is users, and another is the CMC tools, that is software interface standard tools, and then microcontrollers. With the help of these different microcontrollers like Cortex M0, Cortex M3, Cortex M4, you can select any types of microcontrollers. And then with the help of CMC's core, you are going to use the processors and peripheral accesses. When you are going to use the processors, you need the DSP libraries or RTS API. If you want to design a system for DSP functions, then you can use the DSP library. And then if you want to use in a real-time operating systems, then you have to connect this these systems with the RTOS operating systems, so that with the help of application code, the users will able to use the particular systems. When we are combining the Cortex M series processors and the CMC core, it will call SVD. So SVD is called system view descriptions. So whatever in the systems, what will happen? Let us consider if you are going to buy any hardware or any software, in that if you are buying any software or you downloading any software, one notebook is there, that is README. Correct? In that README, he will give you the overview of the software. Same way, when you are going to buy a hardware, he will give you descriptions for. So same way, SVD will work. So this will, with the help of this, you can view the system descriptions. And also, so you can say that the SVD formalizes the descriptions of systems. Okay, and debug third party. So debugger is already available. If you want to use any debug options, then you can use it separately. So with the help of this, you can see how the system will be developed. With the help of microcontrollers, you can reach to the user application. So in this way, any system will be designed. So whenever we are talking about the system course, CMC course, so the CMC core, it provides an interface to Cortex M0, M3, M4 processor, and also secure port TM SC000 and SC300 processors and peripheral registers. So in the CMC core, you can consider any type of processors. It depends upon their applications. You have to choose that any type of processor like Cortex M0, Cortex M3, Cortex M4, Secure Core STM, Secure Core TM, SC000 or SC300 processors, and also peripheral registers. When you are developing the programs, when you are developing the softwares for the systems, then you need a register set. So depending upon the register sets, you have to select the proper processor. CMC DSP. So in DSP library, with over 60 functions in a fixed point and single precision floating point implementations are available. It means that in this library, it is used for the fixed point, or you can say the fractional part, and also the single precision floating point. So it will use for the fractional and floating point numbers. Okay. This is also a 32-bit CMC DSP. CMC's RTOS API. So CMC's RTOS API It is a standardized programming interface for a real-time operating systems for threat control, resource, and time management. Now, the 99.99% devices which you are going to make as a IoT devices, then you are going to use the RTOs, real-time operating systems. So in this real-time operating system, this will able to control the different types of threats or different types of tasks. Also resources available in that, and also it will manage the time when, at what time, which type of thread will do the job. So these are the important things which is controlled by the CMC's RTOS API. So when we are talking about the system CMC's SVD, that is called system view descriptions. It is an XML file that contain the programmer's view of a complete microcontroller system, include peripherals. So within these XML files, the programmers who will program that, he will show you informations what type of microcontrollers are using, what type of peripheral devices are using. This will give you the complete descriptions of that. If you will not give the complete descriptions, the users will not able to know about the particular systems. So that's why CMC SVD will be used. And this is the XML file. So different types of files formats are available. In this, it is using the XML files. Like Excels are there. Okay. So these are different types of components of CMCs. So now we will see that what is the benefit of this CMC tools. If you are going to use or if you are going to select the tools, then going to use, then what type of benefit will be there. Okay. So now the first benefit is it is easier to port application code. Easier to port application code from one Cortex-M based microcontroller to another Cortex-M based microcontroller. So I already told you whatever applications you are going to develop with the help of Cortex-M0. Okay. Same software will be used for M3. That's the benefit of CMCs. You need not able to change different types of software or different types of hardware. That's why you are going to use the SDK, software development kit, and hardware development kit. It means that whatever the libraries are available, that libraries will be common for all the different types of processors. So please keep in mind, it's very easier to port application code. If you are developed code for any application, particular application for Cortex M0 controllers, then you can also port this code in Cortex M3 controllers. It's very fine. And also, you can say it will less effort to use the same code between different Cortex and best microcontrollers. See, if you are going to use the same code, you will feel little bit difficulty. How? Let us consider every controllers having a different pin configurations. Correct? So you have to change the particular port in a programs. Okay. So you can say that it will be less effort to use the same port between the different Cortex and controllers. So just you will manipulate the ports and all. You can, your code is ready for the other versions of Cortex M based microcontrollers. Okay. So this is the main benefit of the CMCs. Like if you are going to write a program for the 8051 microcontrollers, you can't able to port this program to the another microcontrollers. It's very difficult. Okay, since all the things will be changed. Now the next is a better compatibility when integrating third-party software components. So if you want to use any third-party software components, then it's you can compatible. It is compatible. You can easily compatible it. There's no issue in that. And also all the third-party components such as applications, embedded OS, middleware can share the same standards in interface. Now the best part is in CMSIS interface, all the third party is going to develop the same type of applications. Okay. When you are going to design any IoT systems, so same types of applications are available. Then you can choose, you can select it, and you can just interface with your design, and you can develop your softwares. It's a very good, and also it's very easy. Also, it's a better code density and a smaller memory footprint. Since the codes in the CMCs have an optimized and tested. Now the problem is if you are going to develop any programs for a particular microcontrollers. So you have to keep in mind microcontrollers having fixed size of memory. So if it is fixed size of memory, so that whatever you are writing the code, that code is optimized. So in this CMCs, already the codes are optimized and already it is tested. So you can say that it has better code density. It means within the smaller memory area, you can put the more data or more instructions. These things will be available. So now this is the CMC's partner. Now you heard about that different types of companies are available, which is manufactured, or you can say which is develop the IoT systems, even embedded systems. So you can see in a very few, I think all of you know about that, all of you heard about the companies. So these all our companies are using the CMC tools. So that's why it's a very useful, it's a very compatible things. Now you can see Altium, Portrait, Key, Actel, Atmail, Energy, Hitex, IR systems, Micronium, Freescale, Novoton, NXP, Reginons, Tiger, ST, ST Microelectronics, Texas Instruments, Toshiba. So these different types of companies are there, which is partnered with the CMCs. So it's better to use the CMCs tools or CMC software so that you can use the different types of companies hardware and you can develop a system so that you can able to connect all the system with the help of CMC's interface. So this is all about the regarding the CMCs. So with this topic, I have finished the first part of the unit 5. If you have any doubt, if you have any query, please tell. Thank you.